So abundance is a belief, it's a feeling, an expectation that you can have everything all the time, that everything you want is available, that you have unlimited availability to everything you want and need, which in turn allows you to feel joy, growth, expansion, fulfillment. People often say, I have an abundance of joy. I have an abundance of love in my life. I'm abundantly healthy. I feel abundantly radiant. Maybe we don't use those words so much now. But thinking of abundance as just about wealth, cash, money, is a very narrow way of looking at abundance. It's not just about being abundantly wealthy, having so much in your bank account that you never worry. It's about everything that would give you joy. Abundance means having everything all the time. Abundance actually is defined as a lot of everything good. You don't have abundant headaches or abundant stomach aches. Abundance means you have a lot of everything good. And you can have a lot of everything good all the time. That's true abundance. And of course, money is important. Wealth is important. But so is health. So is love, so is joy. And when you single-mindedly fixate only on the money in your bank account, it can create a lot of unnecessary suffering because that takes you away from having real abundance. After all, we love hearing about the Gettys and Bernie Madoff that had everything except joy, inner peace, delight. When you have true abundance, you have joy, expansion, growth. You also have inner peace because there's no guilt about it. And one of the most important elements that I teach my clients is to have a more holistic view of abundance. You see, there are 4 primary pillars of abundance, and each pillar fuels the other pillar. And their harmony, it's like imagining having 4 legs of a table. If you only have 3, that table is wobbly. If you have 2, it will fall over. If you have 4 legs of that table, the 4 pillars of abundance, then you have real expansion, real fulfillment, and you can really make that expectation, that availability of being abundant all the time, work in your favor all the time. So the first pillar of abundance is health and wellness. We've all heard all these stories about someone having so much money. Look at Steve Jobs. And then dying or being sick or being ill or being unable to enjoy what they have. Without health, wealth is kind of meaningless. Everything you want, almost without exception, is because of how it will make you feel. And if you're feeling ill, if you're unhealthy, if your health is limiting you, then all the wealth in the world is not going to help you. And it's so easy to forget that. And when we're in pain, nothing matters. If ever you've been in pain, short-term pain, long-term pain, anxiety, grief, I'd give you all the money I've got just not to have these chronic headaches, this terrible stutter, this fear, this phobia, this thing that's really impacting my life. So it's important to understand that to have abundance, you must have an abundance of health. You must have health and wellness. Imagine how it would be if you had an abundant level of health and wellness. If you said, my body does wellness. My body is a wellness-making machine. I have great energy. I wake up in the morning full of life. I go to bed at night feeling satisfied. I take care of myself. I feel great. I work out. I eat right. I always feel safe and strong and well. Think about what you can create if you were 10 out of 10 when it came to health and wellness and living a long, full, healthy life. That's such a powerful thing to have, and you can absolutely have that. And the second pillar are having abundant relationships. That doesn't mean having lots of people to have a relationship with. It means that the love you have in your life, the feeling of giving and receiving, the people around that love you and are loved by you are abundant. When you say, I've got so much love in my life, I receive so much love from my partner, my children, my family, my friends, my colleagues, my church, myself, my pets. There are abundant ways for you to give and receive love. I love my husband. I adore my daughter. I adore my family, my friends, my sister. I actually adore my pets. They give me so much love. And so it's not about I need so many people. I need to have enough people in my life to give me love. You don't need hundreds of friends. 3 or 4 or 5, if they're real friends, is wonderful. But so many people who have success don't have love. I meet people all the time. So I've got all this money and I've just woken up and thought, gosh, I've got no one to leave this money to. I missed having children. I was always working, so my partner left me. I come back from amazing trips on my own. I look at holiday brochures and go, what's the point? I've got no one to go there with. I've got all the money in the world. I could go on a cruise. I could go on a safari. I have no one to go there with me. I can't even go to the cinema or out to dinner because I'm alone. The joy in your life comes from who you love and who loves you back. Relationships give you so much joy. A good relationship will give you an abundance of joy. So good relationships with more than one person will give you abundant joy. And of course, you have to know how to have a great relationship. There are 3 keys to having an amazing relationship, which I'm going to teach you, because your relationships are the thing that fulfill you the most, give you the most joy. No one on their deathbed says, I should have worked more. I didn't spend enough time in the office. They say, I wish I'd spent more time with my kids. I wish I'd gone to bed late, got up early, played with my children, told my partner I loved them, spent quality time with them, hung out with people. So abundance in relationships means an unlimited availability of love, intimacy, sharing, caring, feeling safe, feeling cherished, feeling celebrated. Imagine you have a birthday party and all the people that love you turn up. I still remember my wedding day. As I walked down the aisle, all my friends spontaneously broke it out and sang My Girl. It was so lovely. I felt so loved at my wedding. It was amazing that they just sang to me. Some of them are great singers, professional singers. Some of them weren't, but they made a decision to show me how much they loved me. And I loved them because I invited them to my wedding. And we all stayed in this hotel, and it was amazing. That was an abundant memory. So many abundant memories you can have, and you really need to have that to have true abundance. And here's another pill that you might think is a little odd. Self-esteem and confidence. Imagine you have true wealth, and you're healthy, and you got a nice partner, but you don't believe in yourself. You can't talk to people. You can't be on show. You couldn't walk down the aisle because you couldn't bear to be looked at. You couldn't give a presentation or a TED talk. Imagine what that would be like to live a life without confidence. And now imagine having an abundance of confidence, having high self-esteem, which, by the way, you were born with. No baby says, don't look at me. I've got milk spots, triple knees, no diaper, and I'm just not an attractive baby. That's unthinkable for a baby, any more than a little cat that had been in tar wouldn't run up to you and say, hey, please take care of me. I'm the cutest thing in the world. You know, one of my cats had an upset stomach, and it ran up to me with all this stuff stuck to its legs. It didn't think it was less confident. I just had to clean it. But it expected that. It knew I loved it with and without all this stuff all stuck to its legs and tail. So how is your confidence? How is your self-esteem? How do you really feel about yourself? How do you present yourself and hold yourself when you are around people? True abundance means I am abundantly confident, not arrogant, because that's not the same. Arrogance is the opposite end of the scale of insecurity. True abundance is I can do this. I've got this. Oh, I can do that job. That has my name all over it. This is my unique skill set. I can do this as good as anyone else, probably better, because this is what I'm really good at. And when your self-worth your self-confidence, your self-image, and your self-esteem are 10 out of 10, the world will be full of opportunities for you, and you will always be optimistic and ready and confident. And of course, the fourth pillar is wealth and money. And money can have a really strange rap. We say, oh, well, people who pursue money have sold their soul. People who have riches are not spiritual people. That simply isn't true. Many people with riches do incredibly good things with their riches. And so when you truly want wealth and riches and money, when you know that you will do something good with that, already you are more likely to achieve it. So you have to look at abundance in a slightly more holistic way. Every pillar will influence your life, the life of your loved ones, and the state of the world. So when I was a therapist, I loved being a therapist, and I became a speaker and a writer and a presenter. I earned so much more money. Suddenly I could afford to pay a camera crew to come to my home. I could buy equipment. I could start to film YouTube videos completely free, because the abundance, I had more money to give more away. The more I get, the more I give. The more you get, the more you give. Suddenly you think, do you know, I can employ someone to do my gardening, to do my shopping, to tidy up my house. And so you're creating wealth for other people. The more wealth you have, the more wealth you create. We are just about to have a scholarship program. But we couldn't have that if we didn't have money. Without money, I can't really help people. I can still do acts of service, but the more money you have, the more you can give. And that's a wonderful thing. Several people like Oprah Winfrey, Madonna, Shakira are using their wealth to provide schools for children, homes for children, rescuing pets. And you can absolutely do that too. So when you are thinking about abundance, remember those 4 table legs. Think about it in a holistic way. And again, when this becomes your way of life, you can only win and win more and win again. So please join me in my live webinar. I'm going to teach you the 3 keys that you can wire in, supercode in, and install in yourself to give you an abundant life. It's certainly true that in our grandparents' generation, if you had an education, you were far more likely to make success, to make money. But actually it isn't true anymore. Some of the most successful people we look at and admire and envy did not come from wealth. They didn't have a university education. Look at Tony Robbins, an incredibly wealthy, successful, idolized coach who came from nothing. Look at Oprah Winfrey, Alan Sugar, Chris Evans. So many people we look at did not go to university, didn't come from money. And today we have the advantage that if you can have an idea and monetize it, you can make it having never gone to university. So the secret to abundance is not a university education. In fact, I know many people who came out of university and can't get employed. It's not even coming from wealth. After all Paul Getty's children came from wealth, but that didn't help them. In fact, it's true to say, it handicapped them. What helps you to acquire wealth is to have a wealth mindset. How do you have a wealth mindset? Well, think of something you want to monetize, and you have to really believe in yourself. You see, if you think of James Dyson, he looked at a vacuum cleaner and he made it better than it was. There are people like the woman who founded Spanx, who took shapewear and made it better than it already was. So first of all, you have to have an idea. What is it in you? What could you monetize, create, make, invent, or simply improve? You have an idea, that's the starting one, but now you must have phenomenal confidence, incredible self-belief that you are going to make it. And then you have to have a work ethic. You have to put time and effort into your idea. So me, for example, I always wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to be the best therapist. And then I wanted to change the world of therapy, to revolutionize it, to make it better. A bit like Dyson revolutionized a hairdryer, I wanted to revolutionize therapy. That was an idea. I had an idea. I had a belief that I could do it. I came across roadblocks, of course, and then I kept going. I did what I didn't want to do. I thought outside the box. I put a lot of work and effort and innovation into being something that I knew I could be, and I did it. And anyone can take that formula, have an idea, apply to that idea tremendous self-belief, phenomenal self-confidence, think outside the box. Don't take no for an answer. Find people that can help you. That's very important. Who can help you? Who can mentor you? Who can you role model yourself on? And how much work are you prepared to do? Do you think Oprah Winfrey said, oh, have a show? Well, I got a show. There's a lot of work goes into having a show. Tony Robbins, huge amount of work goes into taking that show on the road, but you can do it. An idea is an idea, but when you commit that idea down into chunks, when you get other people on board, when you write it out as a plan, when you put up a vision board and say, I am successful, I am doing this, then you can do it. And so often you can just look at a product and think, I could make this better, I could reinvent it. That's what happens all the time in publishing, because here's another thing. Once upon a time, you wrote a book, you took it to a publisher, they went, oh, no thank you, and you were finished. Now, you can self-publish, and self-publishing is now very respected. So now you can have an idea to write a book, a manual, you can take it to Amazon, you can go to Create Space, you can self-publish, you can get people to fundraise your business. There are so many things that you can do. So please don't think, my education holds me back. That may be a great advantage. Please don't think I haven't got experience. That can be a good thing. But let's look at the blocks that get in your way. What is getting in your way are your thoughts. There is no glass ceiling. That is entirely in your imagination. The glass ceiling is here, and you can smash through that, shatter that if you want to. But you have to really believe in yourself. If you are going to work for yourself and have your own startup like Airbnb, what a great idea. Guys that were sleeping on people's sofas created Airbnb. No university education was required, no experience was required, and yet they built a fantastic business. They had a thought, they put it into action, put a lot of work into it. Same thing with Uber, revolutionizing taxi cabs. It was an idea, and behind that idea was hard work, grit, persistence, but most of all the idea that, wow, I could revolutionize something as simple as a cab ride. So let's have a look at you. What are your beliefs? Here's the common ones. It's too difficult, it's too hard, it takes too much effort, nobody will like it, I don't have experience, I didn't go to college, I haven't got money behind me. You see, if you pick some amazing people out there doing well, they had all of those reasons to fail, but they said it doesn't matter. I don't have money behind me, I'll crowdfund, I'll get a loan, I'll mortgage my house, I'll do something. I don't have a university education, it doesn't matter. That means you think outside the box. I don't have experience, you can get experience. So please don't allow beliefs to hold you back. Beliefs hold you back, habits hold you back. The habit of thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not experienced, or I'm not old enough. When I was a therapist, people say, but you're too young to be a therapist, you're too young to know all this stuff. I know people now who say, but aren't I too old? I'm a retiree, surely I'm too old. You see, all of these beliefs are only real if you believe them. Age is not a barrier. Background is not a barrier. Even knowledge is not a barrier. Many people say, I have no idea what I'm doing. Richard Branson called his first company Virgin because he was selling audio cassettes. People would record them, send them back and get a refund. And he was so naive, he called his company Virgin because he was a virgin in business, but he learnt as he went along. He didn't have experience, but he had one thing that we can all have: phenomenal self-belief, determination, commitment, raw enthusiasm. Take all of those things and add to them a belief. Have a mantra. I can do this. I can make it. Write out every limiting belief you have right now. Take a pen, take some paper, write out, I didn't go to college. And then underneath write out, hey, all the people I admire in the business world didn't go to college. I haven't got money behind me. That won't stop me. I haven't got experience. Write out, many people I admire had no experience, yet here they are doing phenomenal, amazing, incredible things, making money, making business, making success, acquiring wealth, training other people. If we look at Jamie Oliver, Gordon Ramsay, some of the most amazing chefs who started restaurants had little experience, but they had a passion for food and enthusiasm. So passion, enthusiasm, drive, commitment, the ability to work hard. If you combine those with extraordinary self-belief, which you can pour into yourself, wire into yourself, and fire into yourself, you can make it. Check out my next video here. The way you feel about anything at any time is down to two things: the pictures you make in your head and the words you say to yourself. And number one habit to stop you being successful is waiting for perfection.